Madagascar is an incredible island, filled with awesome animals, breathtaking scenery, friendly people, and fascinating culture. But getting around can be extremely difficult. In some places, it can take days to get from one town to another on foot. That's why MAF is a vital lifeline for remote communities here in Madagascar, providing flights that can turn a week-long journey into a matter of minutes. As filmmakers working with MAF, we wanted to experience firsthand the difference between flying and traveling by road. So we'll be making a 100-mile journey through dense jungle rainforest to reach a hospital in the heart of Madagascar. We'll be following a route commonly used by patients, starting from the coastal town of Monanara and ending at the hospital in Mandritsara. It'll take us a full 4 days of travel, as opposed to only 23 minutes by air.
Mananara is only 23 minutes from Mandritsara, but there is basically no road, only a footpath. The main reason we fly to Mandritsara is to provide a lifeline to the HVM Hospital Vovomafali, which is the hospital of the good news.
MAF flies this route frequently, bringing both patients and doctors and saving them the days-long journey by road. We met up with our two guides, Gaston and Akim, and hopped in the back of a pickup truck to see just how far we could get by vehicle. We only made it about 10 miles before the road became impassable, so from here on out we'll be walking. We'll have to make it over 50 miles on foot in the next few days before we meet up with a huge 4x4 truck that'll take us the rest of the way to Mandritsara. It's gonna be a rough road, but we're excited to bring you along with us.
Been hiking for a couple hours, starting to feel the burn. I'm pretty sure this is it. The last hill.
As the end of our first day drew to a close, we stopped at a tiny village along the road. Our guide Akim has family here, and they graciously invited us to stay the night in their house and cooked us a delicious dinner. It was the perfect way to end our first day, but we're looking forward to some big challenges tomorrow. It's morning. Day 2.
Day 2.
We woke up at 5:30 a.m., got ready in the dark, and hit the trail. Today, we'll have to walk about 3 times as far as we did yesterday, basically hiking from sunrise to sunset without stopping. The terrain is getting really difficult. It's steep, constantly going up and down the sides of mountains as the trail winds its way through the jungle. We're crossing rivers in our bare feet, balancing across log bridges, and coming across all kinds of wildlife on the way. Wow.
Many patients travel for many days to come to us here. It's very challenging. It's a very challenging route, lots of up and down, but very wet and muddy. Obviously it's one thing doing that journey when you're well, but it's a very different thing, I'm sure, doing it when you're sick. It's certainly a challenge for people to get here.
As we made it into the village where we'd spend the night, our legs and backs were just aching. At over 17 miles, this was the farthest either of us had ever walked in a single day, and we'd have to go even farther tomorrow. Day 3.
It's rained all night, so I think it's gonna be a muddy mess today. But we'll see.
Merci beaucoup. Today's theme was mud. So much mud. We were just trudging in the rain, up super steep hills, passing families and kids on their way to school. I can't even imagine if we actually were needing to get to the hospital.
We got a really muddy trail, really slippery, so we'll let you place your bets on who's gonna fall first, me or Kelly.
What happened, Mark?
I slipped. I got a little overconfident and I started running down the hill. Splop.
Splop.
So if you had your money on Mark, I did.
End of day 3.
End of day 3. Whew. Today was really challenging.
It was mud like the whole way. Like mud like I've never seen before. It was crazy. We've got some really big blisters from walking with wet feet today.
Walked like 20 miles with soaking wet feet, so always fun.
All right, day 4.
Day 4.
I just fell down.
We don't have too far to go today, thankfully, so just a few more hours of walking and then we'll be to the car.
How you feeling?
Feeling all right, feeling a little tired, but the end is in sight.
Yeah, so you're about half an hour's walk from the village where the car will meet you.
Perfect.
And then it's about 5 hours on from there.
Awesome. Thanks,
Cool.
Matt.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, look forward to seeing you.
Okay, see you soon. All right, Kelly, this is it. It's our last muddy hill.
We made it!
We've reached the end of our walking journey, but there's still 35 miles of rough roads left that we'll take in this awesome rainbow truck. Kelly gets to sit up front, but I get to squeeze into the back with 20 of my newest, closest friends. Just after we pulled out of town, we stopped at a tiny village a few miles down the road. People started rearranging things, and I thought to myself, oh great, more people are going to cram into this truck. Then I realized that they were actually making a bed, and they lifted up this sick woman who needed to get to the hospital. Suddenly, all the challenges and hardships of this trip just became real. This was life and death for her. It was a long, rough ride to the hospital. At one point, we all had to get out and walk because the road was too steep. We were driving through rivers and on the side of cliffs, and it got dark. But after 5 hours in the back of the truck, we finally made it to Madagascar. The next morning, we got a tour of the hospital and were able to check in on the patient who had come in with us last night.
When she came here, she was very weak, and the story is that 1 week ago she vomited blood, a lot of blood. If she had just stayed there, she would have died. She died because nobody can give blood to her.
Hearing her story and having traveled the road ourselves, we felt so thankful for the service that MAF provides and their partnership with hospitals like the one here in Madagascar.
MAF have been some of our closest partners in the work here for the last 20 plus years. MAF are really a lifeline, and in some cases literally a lifeline.
A month later, we got an update from Matt on the patient. She had come in for a checkup and was smiling, looking so much better than when we'd seen her a month ago. She still has an uphill battle, fighting liver disease caused by bilharzia, a waterborne parasite that's unfortunately all too common here. But with access to continued treatment at the hospital, she has hope.